Om Mokyantimidandasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. I am very grateful to be here for this wonderful occasion, and grateful to all of you who have come. At this moment, I can feel from my heart of hearts Srila Prabhupada smiling mercifully and showering the flowers of His divine grace upon this magnificent family of devotees. Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Devi Priya Devi, Baladev Vishnu Priya, and Mahaprabhu and Palika and Giri Govardhan and Shamadasi and everyone else. I believe it all began with a murder case. Krishna is very extraordinary how he orchestrates his pastimes in this world. There was a serious murder case against devotees here at Radha Bihari Temple. Srinathji Prabhu was fighting like a heroic spiritual lion to help protect the temple. And at that time, the devotees hired a lawyer named Maheshwari. Radha Krishna Maheshwari, yes? Ram Krishna, yes. I'm sorry, I'm from Vrindavan. Not from Calcutta. And in order to fight this case, he had to understand about the devotees' lives. And just by interviewing the defendants in the case, he became a Vaishnava. And from that seed of Mahaprabhu's transcendental conversion to Prabhupada's path, Sahadev and Satchidananda, from him came Devamrita Prabhu and Yudhisthira Prabhu and Ananda Vrindavan Prabhu and Sri Gauranga Prabhu, and so many people from them, and Sahadev and Chitra Devi. And of course, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, who was brother, and Mukunda, both brothers, and mother. I think at the very beginning of this program, we should all offer our sincerest gratitude to Mahaprabhu Prabhu for directly and indirectly bringing some of the greatest devotees in the world into Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Let us. And of course, Srinathji Prabhu and Maithili Priya Devi were very much a part of that. Rohini Nandan Prabhu and Devi Priya Devi, as we saw in this film, they chose to be married at Radharas Bihari Temple, where we sit today. In fact, they were married right in front of the deities. And from what I was told, it was the first marriage in history to be performed in front of the deities in this temple. I think because His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj was so partial and indebted to Mahaprabhu Prabhu, and so much charmed and affectionate toward Rohini Nandan Prabhu and Devi Priya Devi. That marriage was a very, very sacred moment in the history of all of us. It was when they took their vows to share their lives in Guru and Krishna service. And the spirit of that vow that they took in front of the deities, in the presence of such great Vaishnavas as Bhakti Swarup Damodar Goswami, Sridhar Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Giriraj Swami Maharaj, they were blessed. And because of their sincerity, they wholeheartedly received those blessings. It is a very important example. The seed of our devotional growth and protection is the blessings of Vaishnavas. But according to our sincerity, we can assimilate, digest, and fully benefit from those blessings. And we can understand the blessings of the disciples of Prabhupada are Prabhupada's personal blessings. There is no difference. So this couple took those blessings as their heart and soul. And through all of these years, in fact 25 years today, they have not wavered, as far as I understand. They have not wavered from their commitment, their conviction, and from their willingness to reciprocate and to serve. As a couple, from the very beginning, they were not interested in being in the front of our very, very small little congregation. And as we grew, they were never interested either. They were just so happy, grateful, and enthusiastic to serve. The family of Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, and it really is a family. It was built on the foundation of Prabhupada's mercy and with the pillars of these early devotees who were so very dedicated, consistent, and exemplary. And Rohini Nandan Prabhu and Devi Priya were two of the strongest, most powerful pillars of our family. In the beginning, it was just a few. But as things grow, the pillars have to become stronger and very, very steady. Otherwise, things collapse. So I can say from my heart of heart how grateful I am, because these two wonderful devotees have been holding up. They have been among the devotees who have been holding up this family, this congregation, year after year after year. In the earlier days, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, we had a very tiny fledgling brahmachari ashram. We had a small but sincere congregation. And Rohini Nandan Prabhu was the main kirtan singer. Do you remember? Since all these young people dance so wildly everywhere, he's very shy to come in the middle of kirtan. But in the early days, he was right, pushed him to the middle as our leading kirtan singer. How many of you remember that? And what beautiful kirtans. Not only does he have a very nice voice, but his sincerity, his devotion very much moved our hearts to take shelter of the holy name. And his kirtans became especially and extraordinarily ecstatic on Ram Nomi, on Lord Ram's appearance day. Due to his mother's training as a child, he was very deep devotion to Sri Ramchandra. He was always very happy in Vrindavan and Badrinath and Gangotri and Yamunotri and Jagannath Puri, but he was very, very happy in Chitrakoot. Yes? I remember going around Chitrakoot mountain with him. He'd be singing kirtan, and little Arti would also sing kirtan. Now her name is Radha Devi, but they were our two main kirtan singers for that yatra. And in the early days of organizing yatras, Pune Yatra and other such things, it was Krishna Chandra and Rohini Nandan Prabhu were very much a team. Yes? They were like two brothers. I gained so much transcendental pleasure and inspiration seeing how they would work together. Just totally immersed, 100% in whatever the devotees needed, serving. And of course, Radha Priya and Devi Priya, they were right there. During yatras, we used to always go by train to yatras. Now there's so many people, everyone goes in so many different ways. But it used to be, for yatras, we'd all go together. At the beginning, there was 20 or 30 people, then 100 people, and then gradually bigger. But Devi Priya and Janava Devi, they would always cook wonderful prasad for me on the trains, every yatra, as we were traveling. They would somehow or other convince the kitchen car to let them cook instead of them. And what they would prepare was so much devotion, so much care, so much affection. It's just a sample of the way they thought. They have their jobs, gradually their families were growing, but their focus on devotion to Krishna was always the priority. It was always the heart of whatever they did. And how happy we were when little Vishnu Priya came to this world. And then Baladev, I got to name him. When they said it was a boy, Rohini Nanda and Baladev, that was connection. And as they raised their children while serving the congregation, serving the mission, such loving, caring mothers and fathers, so understanding. And what I noticed in them is how practical their Krishna consciousness was. Because actually Devi Priya and Rohini Nandan Prabhu are very traditional people. They're very traditional. And they have many very traditional ideals. And their children were growing up in Mumbai, which is, for teenagers, it's not a very traditional place. And they had their worries, and they had their struggles, and they had their disappointments. And they would come to me, and I just knew, because Rohini Nandan Prabhu and Devi Priya Devi set such a good example in their own lives, established such a strong foundation by their example in what they gave to their children their whole lives from the time they were born, that even if they become a little wild, they're going to be fantastic, perfect devotees. It's just a matter of time. And we see that today. And Vishnu Priya and Baladev themselves organized this entire program in appreciation. The video that we saw was simply an outpouring of their heart's appreciation for giving them Krishna, for giving them bhakti. What greater satisfaction could possibly be there for a parent? But when their children, from their heart of hearts, are grateful for giving Krishna consciousness to them. It's beautiful. That video was very beautiful. And how did they give them Krishna? Traditional in their own way, exemplifying total focus on the mission of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya in service to the Vaishnavas. In their home, their own sadhana, their own spiritual lives, so sincere. But yet, being strict when it's effective, being lenient when it's effective, bringing them to Prabhupada's temples, and then bringing them to Disney World. That's also parampara in the family. Should I tell you a secret? I'm going to divert from the subject slightly. I was giving lectures in California, and Mahaprabhu happened to be there. I gave a whole series of lectures and kirtans and programs in Los Angeles and Laguna Beach and San Diego. And then I had to go on an airplane from San Diego. I had to drive to Los Angeles. And Mahaprabhu happened to be traveling with me. And somehow or other, while I was preaching, some people in the audience, because, they give you some donations and things, they gave me 2 tickets to Disney World. In California, it's Disneyland. It's the original. Anaheim, California. So, just jokingly, I happened to tell that to Mahaprabhu. But he took that joke very seriously. He said, he was very humble and reserved about it. But he said, Maharaj, I really, all my life, I've heard about Disneyland. And I think if we go there, we could learn things on how to preach better. And we were driving, and he said it several times. And then we saw that Mount Matterhorn and the castle on top of it and whatever, and we were passing by it on the highway. And he said, Maharaj, we're passing by it. He said, you have 2 tickets. It must be Krishna's arrangement. So, feeling so indebted to him, I was thinking, all right. So we went, and I said to him, so we're going to go there specifically for the purpose of finding out ways to better preach. Because I'm a sannyasi, I have to justify things in this way. So that was the easy part. We go in, and, I asked him, what do you want to see? So he took me on this ride through the Pirates of the Caribbean, and there's all these pirates coming at you, like moving dioramas. And then he took me to see Abraham Lincoln give a speech. And I was watching how anybody who threw anything on the ground, immediately there was somebody to pick it up. I said, that's cleanliness. We could learn cleanliness from these people. Just trying to figure something out. So then, but they're really clean. Literally, they have people that are just anything that's on the ground that anyone throws, and they have tens and thousands of people there at any moment. And anybody who throws anything on the ground, it can't last more than a few seconds. Somebody's there to pick it up. To keep tens and thousands of people, and it's always immaculately clean. So we learned something. Prabhupada said cleanliness is godliness. But what happened is, when we came in, they have these prizes, that certain number tickets, you get a prize. So they said to me that your ticket, you win a prize. I said, what's the prize? They said, you get 2 stuffed dolls of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. Do you remember this, Mahaprabhu? So he told me it's Krishna's arrangement. We have to get them. I'm trying to be the servant of the servant. So I go and cash in my ticket before we leave, and the dolls are this big. Yes? There's Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. They're all like stuffed, like teddy bears, but teddy mouses. So, Mahaprabhu, I'm going back. Actually, I was flying to Pittsburgh to go to New Vrindavan. He requested me with so much passion to give those dolls to Shamadasi, who was in New Vrindavan, because she had a child or something. Yes, she had. Sunita was just a little girl. So he said, I'm the grandfather, I want to give her, she'll be so happy. So to serve Mahaprabhu, here I am, a sannyasi. I had my danda in one hand. And I had these big dolls of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, because there were no bags. I was just holding them like this. Through the LA airport, I happened to see these ISKCON devotees distributing books in the airport. And I wanted to keep it a secret that we went to Disneyland. But I have Minnie Mouse in one arm and Mickey Mouse in another arm and a danda in my hand. I'm walking through the airport and the devotees are distributing books and they go, Maharaj, where have you been, Maharaj? I said, one of our devotees want me to bring this to his grandchild. They didn't say anything. Then when I went on the plane, it was really strange, because America, to see a Hare Krishna carrying, and I guess they thought I was really attached to them because I was carrying them around with me everywhere I went. Anyways, the conclusion of the story is in Kurukshetra. Sukadev Maharaj arranged for us to meet the governor of Haryana in the Haryana Bhavan in Delhi. What happened is in Kurukshetra itself, we met the secretary, and we became very friendly with the secretary, and she arranged for us to meet the governor in Delhi. So the governor, we spoke to him for some time, and he said, I'm thinking of giving you people some land, but so many other people want that same land. And he said, I need to know from you. I need to be convinced that you will use the land more effectively for the purpose of tourism than anybody else will. So I'm sitting in New Delhi, in the headquarters of the state of Haryana, with the governor. And I prayed to Krishna, what should I say? And I told him, I have just been to Disneyland. And they have Abraham Lincoln speaking the Gettysburg Address with this, what are they called? Moving dioramas. I said, we will have Krishna on that land speaking Bhagavad Gita by getting the same people as Disney making these animatronics. And when I said that, because at that time there was no animatronics in all of India. Now they have them in Delhi and other places, but at that time there was nothing. And I told him how they move and it looks exactly real. And the governor practically jumped out of his seat. He said, that's fantastic. That will bring so many people to India. There's nothing like that in all of India. Haryana will have the first of that. He said, I give you the land. He signed over the land. Right near Jyotisar, the place where the Gita is spoken. And factually, that is the land that the project's coming up today. So Mahaprabhu's divine intuition is always divine. He said we can go there and it will be good for preaching, and it was one of the best things for preaching. Prabhupada specifically wanted land in Kurukshetra. He ordered his disciples to get land in Kurukshetra. So Rohini Nandan and Prabhu and Devi Priya, I'm sure they didn't go to Disney World for their enjoyment. But they understood their children. They wanted to make them happy while giving them Krishna consciousness. And it worked. Baladev is one of the stalwart followers of Govinda Prabhu. And Vishnu Priya is like a goddess of devotion. So sincere. She's become so mature, so devotional. And most of all, they are so grateful to their parents for what they're giving them. To have teenagers in this day and age to be so lovingly grateful to their parents for giving them religion, devotion, is very rare and very special. Whatever we have at Radha Gopinath Temple, so much of the credit goes to early devotees like Rohini Nandan and Devi Priya for being so purely devotional, committed, and consistent in their service attitude through all these years. They really deeply want to love Krishna. And they really deeply want to give that love for Krishna to their children as their main priority. And they want to assist in giving that love for Krishna to the whole world. Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Devi Priya Devi. Where is Devi Priya? Yes. She always likes to be in the back. On this day, I do not have the words that can possibly express what's in my heart, in my very profound indebtedness and gratitude to both of you. Thank you very much. And we have all come here tonight out of our appreciation and love for you. So many, especially the senior devotees I see, they understand what this couple means to all of us. And I really pray that all the younger devotees could take their example on how to put Krishna in the center of their households, in how to nourish their children with love for Krishna, and how to really find genuine happiness and internal prosperity in doing so. You are gurus for all of us, in a real sense. His acting as Ravana was very convincing. But sometimes he acted as Ram, and actually that was even more convincing. Thank you very much. And we have all come to offer our sincerest prayers for you. And we'll all be here for your 50th anniversary. Maybe. If Krishna gives us that life. But a marriage like this, every day is a celebration. So I request all the devotees to pray for their good health, to pray for their continued protection, to pray that Krishna will fulfill all their inner heartfelt desires for the loving service of the Lord and the devotees. And everyone, please let us offer this prayer. And let us express our love and gratitude by very, very loudly chanting Hari Bol. And at this time, the moment you've all been waiting for, I would like to request Govinda Prabhu to speak something.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. I'm very nervous. If I knew that I'm supposed to speak, I would have escaped like other brahmacharis. But still I'm very happy to be here. Hearing Maharaj speak about Rohini Nandan Prabhu and Devi Priya Mataji. And I was very fortunate to be there since the early days of Radha Gopinath temple and watch their commitment. As Maharaj already explained everything, that some of our very frontline Grihastha devotees, sometime when a brahmachari joins, he becomes very hero quite early. He gets all the credits quite fast, and that is very risky. But here is someone who have done much greater service than many of us in regards to commitment, in regards to continue to stay, in regards to never thinking of quitting, just continuing. I don't think they know the word quitting the association of devotees. I'm fortunate to associate with Rohini Nandan Prabhu quite often in regards to the school and in our Bhagavad study group, that the every breath, their every moment, and in their every endeavor is simply centered around how to please their Guru and then serving Shri Radha Gopinath. And even though they are serving since so long, Shri Radha Gopinath temple and Maharaj, there is no such desire of that we should be glorified. We were discussing in our hospital meeting that in the Shastra there is the Rishi Sampradaya. Rishi Sampradaya means the Grihastha sadhus. They also equally contribute in regards to spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. If you see in the early days of ISKCON in regards to spreading Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada always mentioned that in London, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sent his sannyasi disciples. Of course, they tried their best with all their sincerity, and Krishna arranged in such a way that they did not get much success, not because of their mistakes, but the time was not ripe for them. But then Krishna arranged for Srila Prabhupada's followers, who were simple householders, to spread Krishna consciousness far and wide. Similarly, we have discussed this many times in the Brahmacharya ashram, that all our success, all our prosperity in preaching Krishna consciousness is founded in the commitment of many grahasthas. If we forget this, then our preaching is very superficial and has no substance. We try to remember these things, and especially devotees like Krishna Chandra Prabhu, Srinathji Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, they are actually our trustees also. Trustee means those whom we trust. I read one compliment. It is said that to say that I love you is an inferior compliment than to say that I trust you. Rohini Nandan Prabhu and Devi Priya Mataji, they can be trusted, and they have won the heart of devotees by being so trustworthy. And I pray to Shri Radha Gopinath and Srila Prabhupada, they continue to offer them good health and unlimited desire to serve more and more, as they are already doing it. And then their children also. In fact, when Baldev spoke to me that we would like to arrange such a program, he said, what should we do? I requested him, and through him his sister also, the best gift, just like the parents have offered so much to both of you. One day Baldev was telling me, when he was studying for 11th standard, every day his mother gets up at 4 o'clock, cooks prasad for him, and then he goes for the tuition class. And few times he would forget that there is no tuition class, but still she would cook. So this kind of sacrifice they have committed. And it's wonderful that they organize this celebration to show their appreciation. And I said their actual greater appreciation, increasing pleasure and happiness of their parents will come. And both of them commit to take initiation in the divine blessings of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. I thank once again on behalf of the whole Brahmacharya ashram for the commitment of these two devotees and rest of many of grahasthas, and we can work together and join the divine family, as Srila Prabhupada, as Janani was mentioned, that spiritual world is a family life. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Govind Prabhu. Thank you, Maharaj. I now realize the value of my parents. I really respect my dad, and I'm really proud, happy and fortunate to be a part of this family. Mummy, Papa have given me everything. They have been really kind, and I have really been rude and harsh at times, but they have accepted me, and I really thank and I beg forgiveness. Actually, some years back, whenever Maharaj used to meet me, and he would always ask that, Baldev, is your mother still feeding you? And I would be like, I would be embarrassed, and I would smile, and I would like to confess that even now she feeds me, Maharaj. Actually, yesterday. Now I would request Papa and Mummy to speak.
Thank you, Vishnu Priya and Baldev, for creating this opportunity. What training you have got for all these years. We should find excuses to assemble and think of Krishna. But today is something else. that is also a part of training, that what is expected by Guru Maharaj, so that we become little more sincere, little more serious, and get rid of any agenda if it is left. We were fortunate that we had His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj at the time of our engagement and other 3 sannyasis at the time of our wedding. With their blessings, thereafter, on each day, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj has nurtured our life. Mukam karoti vachalam. Dumb can speak eloquently. Lame can climb mountains. Sure enough, a couple in deep dark well of family life can also swim, float, survive, and eventually get out of the well when they take shelter of a Guru Maharaj like His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Somehow or the other, we had that blessing of the challenges of what a grasta may face when they get into grasta ashram. And through this regular association, hearing from His Holiness Maharaj, we were trying to follow the path that we have to regularly associate and follow whatever has been told, not directly, but through the classes. We were regularly hearing from His Holiness that if we want to show our love to Srila Prabhupada and to our Gurudev, we have to cooperate. We have been hearing regularly what are the essential features, essential requirement for advancing in Krishna consciousness. Association of devotees, chanting the holy name, always not missing any opportunity of service to the Vaishnava, and most important of all, never getting into of a situation where you'll end up criticizing the Vaishnavas. I was told by Vishnu Priya, since this whole program is also, I have not invited a single devotee, I have not contributed in anything. I am also directed that I am supposed to give some message to your younger counselees, that how did you so successfully carried out your Grastashram. Nothing to my credit. It was the divine arrangement that somehow or the other I was in the situation living in the house of Prabhu, and I was getting association of some very, very senior devotee coming to temple, to Mahaprabhu's place, and I was getting opportunity to serve them. And most regular there was His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. This was my only qualification. And what I was hearing regularly from him, that to avoid this aparadh, and probably every time Devipriya and myself, we were reminding each other, if it is so important and if we can get rid of this, then probably the path will be easier. And we were careful about that. This was because of the regular hearing, regular training, this was possible. What we were thinking earlier, to individually talk something about each and every devotee here. Some devotee, Devi Priya wanted to speak, and some I would have, but that will take a lot of your time. But what I want to convey, that what I have got from the entire family of Sri Radha Gopinath, rather both of us have got from, is that we always felt wanted. Whether it is individual, my wife, very, very simple lady. This is a special boon from Sri Sri Radha Ras Bihari ji and the devotees to get a simple wife. Many other qualities, like never demanding anything. I don't remember anything in 25 years she has asked that I want this, otherwise I'm unhappy. Highly educated, but homely. Always thinking of children. She sacrificed a great career. It is, when your husband is not earning enough and you want to contribute something and your husband says no, and you don't question on that, and the opportunity is maybe double income in the family. A great cook, and looks after all three of us like children. So this was a special, very, very special boon that Devi Priya came in my life. And several times, though we are aware that bamboos has no reason to complain that what is the reason of the forest fire. But at times, we also got involved in complaining. But the special feature of our disagreement and complaint was that whenever we had this kind of a fight or disagreement, we, both of us, never had any kind of a hatred for each other. Number two, we were emotionally thinking of each other more than regular. Number three, spiritually, we had better realization jointly and better understanding that why did we do this? Was it worth it? And this was again because of we were in constant association of devotees, and regularly we were hearing how futile this material world is, and is it worth in spending time in and our relationship for these futile things. So I am thankful to Devi Priya for giving me that support, caring, and never really making me feel that I have been unreasonable, in spite of the fact sometime I have been. So what I want to thank you all, that you all have given us that feeling of wanted, and that gives us encouragement to continue and do and increase a little bit whatever we are able to do. But we are aware that much more can be done. And now, with Vishnu Priya and Baldev growing up, we want your blessing so that we can increase our services in the service of our Guru Maharaj. I want to thank you all for coming here and gracing this occasion. Thank you so much.
जाएगा.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे. Actually today the only thing I would like to say to all of you individually and collectively present here is a thank you, and thank you. Krishna has very mercifully, with causeless mercy, bestowed everything to me. And once, as rightly Maharaj said, that Devi Krishna has given you everything. And yes, Maharaj, you are very correct. Krishna and Radharani gave themselves to me. And that also at a time when I was facing a terrible crisis in my life. And Krishna also gave me my Guru Maharaj. I'm not able to express my feelings for him, but it was by his coming into my life that my life changed 360 degrees. Maharaj, all what you said today, and all the devotees say, I would like to offer the Ganges water back to Ganges. All this credit goes to you, Maharaj. And if I can be your menial servant in any way, wherever and however you want, I will consider myself to be the most fortunate. Maharaj is the greatest personality that came into my life and loved me for what I am, although I am not worth. Thank you so much, Gurudev. The second personality which Krishna bestowed me with is His Grace Rohini Nandan Prabhu. I really have no words to express my gratitude to him, because after having faced the crisis, it was as if Krishna just sent him to take full control of my life. I just sailed through all those troubles so easily just by His mercy, His love, His care. And I'm so grateful to Him for accepting me as His life partner. Although I have not reached up anywhere to His expectations. But He is a person, a self-made person, not materially ambitious, very happy with what he has. His only focus is to serve Guru Maharaj. And all that I have learned is only by his guidance. He's a person who is non-envious, never criticizes devotees, and very, very simple. He's trying to imbibe the instruction of Srila Prabhupada of simple living and high thinking. He is the most loving, caring husband anyone could ever have. The emotional support that I get from him, which I've always got, and I know that happen what may, he's going to be there for me. And more than anything else, he gave me my Guru Maharaj. I'm extremely grateful even to Mahaprabhu and Palika Mataji for having sheltered us, nurtured us in Krishna consciousness. A lot of training I got from them. And I would like to specially thank Shama, who, although we are in a relationship of aunt and niece, but we are still and we always will be best of friends. She's the one who inspired me in Krishna consciousness. And I'm so grateful to her. I'm very grateful to my parents, my mother, who trained me to be a good cook, who taught me all values, all virtues. And although she is not materially so educated, but she's a woman of substance, I'm extremely grateful to her. I'm extremely grateful to all our extended families. And last but not the least, we realize that nowadays we have nuclear families with just 3 to 4 members maximum. But today, I'm in a nuclear family with hundreds and hundreds of devotees. Each and every devotee who has come today to bless us is a very, very integral part of our family. And they have contributed so much to our lives by giving us so much love. And as Prabhuji said, making us feel wanted. My only aspiration is today that I'm able to serve each and every one of you. Due to lack of time, I'm not able to mention any of your names. But I'm extremely grateful to all my brahmachari god brothers who are so exemplary, and I feel so proud. And today I would only request all of you to please bless both of us so that we can serve all the Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj in the best way possible. And last but not the least, the 2 wonderful children I have been blessed with, they have made me very, very proud. Vishnupriya and Baldev, I love you and I will always love you and be there for you. Thank you very much.
May I now request all the devotees, please take prasad outside.